Did you know that anxiety affects more than 40 million adults in the US alone? And that doesn't include other countries or other age groups. That is a ridiculous amount of people. As somebody who battled anxiety for years of my life, this topic really hits close to home. My own personal journey struggling with my mental health is a huge reason that I got into the health and fitness industry. So I want to share my 3 biggest tips for living anxiety-free. Here we go.
But first, smash that subscribe button. Rock on!
All right, tip number 1 has to do with changing how you eat. So most of the foods that naturally help reduce anxiety are extremely prevalent in the vegan diet. So some of these foods are greens, bananas, ginger, soybeans, nuts, bell peppers, and oats. So all of these foods to varying degrees are high in many vitamins, but mostly tryptophan, calcium, and magnesium. But we've also got things like B vitamins and C vitamins that also help. So the ways that these help, so these vitamins and minerals, they help with relaxing your muscles. They're natural sleep additives. They help with mood and behavior. They also help with the adrenal glands. So when we live in a state of anxiety and panic, it really drains our adrenal system and can heighten and cause and create more anxiety and panic and depression and all of those mental things that go on. So this is just a quick short list of examples of foods that you can incorporate into your diet that will help with anxiety, but there are so many more that you include, especially adaptogens. Adaptogens are going to be a huge game changer in fighting anxiety. So my number 1 adaptogen is going to be ashwagandha. You can find it at any health food store and you can just throw it into things like your shake. That's how I drink it. That's how I've been drinking it every single day for the past, 7 years. You won't taste it, but you will feel a difference in how it makes you feel. All right, so next on my list with changing how you eat is going to be limiting your processed foods. Most processed foods are high in sodium, and when we have too much sodium, that increases our blood pressure. And guess what that does? You got it, it heightens our anxiety. So the second note to processed foods is that a lot of them also are extremely high in sugar, and those extreme amounts of sugar creates peaks and valleys in our blood sugar. This in turn triggers adrenaline and cortisol in our body. Cortisol is that stress hormone, and both of these, not a good combination. They are going to heighten and increase or create anxiety and panic. Number 3 to note to this number 1 about changing your diet and eliminating processed foods is that a lot of processed foods also have additives like MSG, aspartame, food dyes. These things have been proven to change our mood and, you guessed it, trigger things like anxiety. Alrighty friends, number 2 on my tips for helping eliminate anxiety is going to be eliminate or limit your caffeine intake. So caffeine itself is not what triggers your anxiety, but if you are somebody who is hypersensitive to caffeine or you have any sort of mood disorders, then things like caffeine can be a trigger and can heighten those feelings that make you feel like just not good, panicked, and anxious. So think about it. When you are hyped up on caffeine, you're taking energy drinks, you're drinking a lot of coffee, how does it make you feel? It makes your heart race, it makes you jittery, it can make you feel warm. Those are the same feelings that you get when you start to have a panic attack or you get anxious. So your mind can't differentiate the difference. So it automatically goes into this fight or flight mode and that panic and anxiety kicks in. And the third part to this second tip is that caffeine affects our sleep. And I can't tell you how much sleep affects our mood. I'm sure you realize it, that when you are sleep deprived, like if you're a new parent, you are not in the best mood all the time. You just want a good night's sleep. So when you're caffeinated, especially close to bedtime, it can make it difficult or challenging to fall asleep and stay asleep. So this in turn can create that anxiety cycle. All right, friends, we have made it to tip number 3. My third tip for helping to live an anxiety-free life is moving your body. There is such a huge connection between our physical health and our mental health. Exercise and moving your body is a great way to keep normal levels of cortisol in your body. It also releases those feel-good hormones that we all love so much. So obviously, any physical activity or moving your body is a step in the right direction. You're making progress, but there are definitely 4 types of exercises that are best when you are trying to reduce your anxiety. So those 4 types of exercises are going to be HIIT, high-intensity interval training, any type of cardio workouts, getting out in nature, and yoga. So anything cardio, HIIT style workouts, all of that good stuff is going to help to improve your heart and your lung strength. And when we work on our heart and our lung strength, then that helps reduce anxiety. So nature walks are a double whammy, double benefit. So when we're out in nature, it automatically is a mood booster. Plus you have the benefits of being out in the sun and getting that vitamin D. So that's part 1. Part 2, you're moving your body. And like I said, that movement is gonna help release all those feel-good hormones and keep you on that path to keeping mentally clear. So the last movement, yoga, especially when you incorporate breath work, it's going to trigger your parasympathetic nervous system. So I'm sure most people know that yoga is known to calm the mind, but it also releases something called GABA. So GABA is gamma aminobutyric acids, and this is known to help boost mood and decrease anxiety. So most forms of yoga are going to incorporate meditation, visualization, breath work, and moving your body, all of which are beneficial in many ways, but of course, it is also beneficial for our mental health. Yoga for me and for many people I know has helped us to escape the crazy, chaotic life and to just slow down and focus on something that is extremely good for all of our bodies, mind, body, soul. It is hugely beneficial, not just for our mental health, so I highly suggest giving it a try if you haven't already. So obviously there are plenty of other ways that we can combat anxiety, but for me, these 3 have been some of the biggest game changers in my anxiety and mental health journey. So that is it, my friends, for today's video. I hope you found this, as usual, inspiring, motivational, and educational, and I would love to know anything that you want to throw in there to help with mental health in the comments. So feel free to add your comments. Let's have a conversation. You can also reach out and message me anytime. I'd love to help any way that I can. So until next time, have a blessed one.
Get over there. Keep watching. Put it. Keep going.